Good morning. I'm Donna Blaisdell. I currently work as a legislative aide for Councilmember Mike Perrone, District 8 County Council member. He's chosen not to seek re-election, so I'm going to step up and run for the seat. So, I want to be Southern Hartford's voice since it's the Edgewood-Joppa area. To help me reach this goal, I became a member of the SIPARI Accountability Group. So that's something else we'll talk about later. But now I want to introduce to you our facilitator for the day, Nettie Owens, certified professional organizer in chronic disorganization, president of SIPARI Solutions, a productivity consultant. I met Nettie shortly after I moved to Harford County in 2002. I was a frazzled stay-at-home mom of 6, trying to get my house in order after that big move and just feeling totally overwhelmed by it all. So I started searching for help and discovered the Fly Lady system. Remember that from years ago?
Yes.
At that time, there were local groups online that we could meet and chat and encourage each other. But Nettie took it a step further and started a local Harford County group that we could meet up with face-to-face. So that's how I met Nettie. She started, she also had moved to Maryland from California, so we had that similar thing,
right.
New area, new people. So using her experiences from that group, Nettie founded SIPARI Solutions in February 2004. Before starting SIPARI Solutions, she worked in a variety of positions for businesses large and small, honing her skills in management, project management, customer service, instruction, and office administration. Nettie graduated from Johns Hopkins with a BA in computer science and a minor in entrepreneurship and management. Not enough for that one. She holds certificates in study in chronic disorganization. Did I get that right? Yep. ADHD, aging, time management, hoarding, and coaching. She's appeared on CNN, Fox News, TLC, and ABC News. She's had articles in Parents Magazine and on eHow. She coordinated the local community Take Back event, Clear Your Clutter Day, for 5 years. I participated. While not helping individuals and businesses streamline their lives and time, you can find her homeschooling her 3 children, spending time with her husband, hiking, cooking, and dancing. And now, here's Nettie.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for coming out on this slightly warmer winter day. I appreciate you being here. We are getting started a tiny bit later than I had hoped, so we'll find some places in between to speed that up a little bit. Okay? You may have noticed that around on the tables, some of our guests here got goodie bags. That wonderful gift can be yours too. Everyone that you see who has a name badge that has not only an acorn on it, but also an oak leaf, is part of the SIPARI Accountability Group, which is what Donna mentioned when we started. There's going to be an opportunity to learn more about that throughout the morning. So I encourage you to ask questions as you have them and to listen to what those particular folks are saying as we're working together. Okay? So 80% of success, as I've said on my website, is just showing up, and that's Woody Allen. So you showed up today, which means that you're more than halfway there to reaching whatever goal you have already set. A few logistical items to make sure that our day goes exceptionally well. You have handouts. They look like this. They look like this. Okay, so make sure everybody has one. You also were given a calendar. That's yours. I'm not sure if we'll use them today. I just thought, why not? So, name badges, as I already explained, what those indicate. The schedule is in your planner, but we will work together until about 10 this morning, and then you'll have a break. So I encourage you as much as possible to stay in the room. You're going to get more out of the morning if you're present for it. Make sure that you turn off your cell phones and other devices. And if you need a drink of water, we have that here at the front. But it looks like everybody's mostly set. The bathrooms are out the door and to the right through the lobby. And we are recording this morning. Hello, everybody who is joining us by the live stream. We do have a number of people coming in that way. And they're going to be sharing with us as well. I'm speaking directly to the live stream folks right now. You are coming in through Zoom. And so you have the opportunity to not speak out loud, but actually chat your questions. Abrielle is going to be your hostess on the live stream. So she's going to be taking your questions, answering them. She's going to be sharing the comments that you share out loud to the group if there's something to be said. So make sure you have that chat feed open. There should be a button on the bottom of your screen to open your chat, and make sure that you're using that as well. Okay? You can give hey, I got it, right in the chat feed to let everybody know that, or let Abrielle know that you're getting started with that. Okay? I think that's it. I already mentioned to look for our accountability group members, and we can begin. Today is a good day. I don't know if you are familiar with the person Abraham Hicks, but she has a wonderful program called the Morning Rampage that literally just tells you over and over again what a good day today is, and it is. So I want you to kind of breathe that affirmation in. Take a moment to place your feet squarely on the floor, and we're just going to take 2 deep breaths together to get us present for what we're going to do this morning. And another. I feel better already. So we're done. Thank you for coming. It's been lovely. Okay. I want you to get to know the folks who are here with you this morning. You're going to be having an opportunity to talk with each one of them as we go along. So you'll see at the top of your, kind of the first page of your workbook is introductions. You're going to share your name, what you do, either your work or your mission, and how you feel about being here today. We're going to keep it to about 30 seconds each, so we have time for everyone, and we can keep going. Our live stream folks, if you wouldn't mind just typing that in the chat so you can meet each other that way. Okay, so we will start with Jolene. You can stand up. It's much more energetic. Oh. Excellent. Angel. Is it turned on? It's got a red dot on it. Turn it on. There you go.
I'm Angel Hefner. I'm a nurse. I just kind of fell into today, so I'm going to see what it is.
So.
I'm Donna Blaisdell, legislative aide for Mike Perrone, and I'm here just to help jumpstart my campaign.
Good morning. I'm Lori Hill, and I am a health coach with Nutrition by Design, and I am excited to be here amongst y'all to launch for this year.
I'm Cynthia Robinson. I am interested in, number one, starting a new career. I've been on disability for years, and I'm looking to do that, but also continue with my physical, emotional, spiritual recovery.
Hi, I'm Cindy Calderon. Oh, we're here this way now. I'm Cindy Calderon. I just moved to Delaware from New York last April, and I started a real estate investment business,
Ooh.
which is why I'm here today to be able to get done.
I don't think this is on.
Are we good now? I think it might have been on before, so go ahead. Yeah.
On now?
Yep.
Way to make a first impression.
It's okay.
I am many things, but mostly I just focus on being me. I am a personal trainer, but my real mission in life is to help women of all walks of life learn to accept where they are in life and then progress forward. So.
Excellent.
Hi, my name's Alicia Hamilton. I have started a nonprofit, Found in Faith Ministries. We provide furniture and home goods for people that are transitioning. I also recently started a coaching business as a coaching and consulting business as a resource consultant. My goal is to not only help people connect to the resources in themselves, but also to help communities connect their resources together. So I'm excited to
Excellent.
be here today.
Pass it back to James.
Hi, I'm James Rainwater. I have an accounting firm. I work remote with most of my clients, and I'm looking to grow and excited to be here today and the only guy.
Hi, I'm Judy Fritz, owner of VIP Services. We help small business owners and entrepreneurs with our virtual assistant team. And I apologize for being late. My keys were in my son's room, so I was running all over the house. Anyway, glad to be here, and a guest of mine, Maria Hewitt.
My name is Maria Hewitt. I'm a financial coach for Hewitt Financial Coaching. I help women and families get intentional inside their month of getting financial peace and getting their money to do what it needs to do.
Awesome. Thank you and welcome. So the mic is for the live stream. That's why you're not really hearing it being projected louder here. And if you need me to speak up for that same reason, please, just kind of give me a, hey, I can't hear you in the back, and I'll talk louder, okay? I realize we've got some white noise with the air conditioning unit that's going here, so that might affect how you can hear. But keep me posted. I want to make sure you get everything you're looking for. Okay, so it's important to be focused on where we are, and we're going to start today simply by setting some intentions for today. What are you looking to get out of the next several hours that we're going to spend together? What will you receive today in our time together, and what needs to happen in order that today be a success for you? So I want you to take a moment. I'm going to give you about a minute to write those thoughts down, and then we'll pull from that in our next activity. Just give you just a moment here to kind of wrap that up. Okay, we're going to go around the room one more time. No mic necessary. Just say it. I'll repeat what you say. I'd like you to say one word that sums up your intention for today. And since we started with Jolene last time, we'll start in the back with Abrielle. Yes. Use the mic. It should be. Are you not is it not coming through? Is this on? Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna say it as they say it. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Okay. So, whoops. Get me tucked back in here. All right, one word, and can you say your name again? Maria. Thank you, Maria. Let's start us off, please. Focus. You can have the same word. There's enough words for everyone, and if the same word comes up again, that's okay. So I'll put it up here. Focus. And that's not going to break. Okay, go ahead. Keep them going. Consistency. So we had plan and consistency. Keep going. Clarity. Clarity. Nice. Open. Unstuck. I love being unstuck. It's much more freeing. Yes. Mindfulness. Good. Keep going. Action. Strategy. Vision. Clarity. We'll just second that. We're getting very clear. And Abrielle, what do we have from the live stream? Okay. Focus and clarity. This is a poll. We have focus people, we have clarity people. All right, we'll chime those in as they come along. So this is your intention. This is what you're going to center yourself in as you go through the activities, keeping this in mind so that by the end of our time together, you can determine, were you successful? Did you reach the goal you had set? Go ahead and turn your page. It's hard to move forward without understanding where we've been. And the expectation here isn't that we get stuck in the past, but simply use it as the teacher and trainer that it's intended to be, okay? So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to reflect on 2017. Whether this year was a great year for you or a not so great year for you, I believe there are still things that you were successful in doing and completing in that time. So what I'd like you to do for the moment is to write down at least 10. Start with 1. It'll get the ball rolling. What did you accomplish? What did you do? What worked? You can answer any one of those 3 questions. You're going to have about 2 minutes, so we're not going to get bogged down here. It's, just let it come out. What did you do? What did you accomplish? What worked? Don't worry about the second column just yet. How are we doing? Hey, people on the live stream, I know you can hear me. So now would be a really good time to type what you are getting. You have the benefit of being able to share it right into the group if you wish. Okay, so make sure you use this time for yourself. You have about 1 minute still. I see a lot of fast, furious writing, so I know. Getting a lot of that good stuff out. Ten seconds. Your last thoughts, jot them down. All right, so we're going to keep going with this. You'll have a chance to kind of reflect on how it is for you in a moment. it's probably Buddhist. I don't even remember, but it's an old saying that if you don't have time to meditate, do it twice, right? So if you can't think of 10 things, then I encourage you to push yourself to think of 20, okay? There are great things that happened in your life in 2017, and there's a ton that you accomplished, even if you're not recognizing it. It's not coming to the surface just yet. Sit with this and see if you can add more to your list. All right, so now we're going to shift a little bit. And looking over all that you accomplished, I want you to now write down, how did you do it? So sometimes we get into this habit of, oh, I did something really great. Aren't I awesome? No, I don't see everybody here just patting their own back. But we quickly move away from the lesson that might have been learned and where we were successful. So I'd like you to reflect on that. In the places where you were successful, how did that happen? Because once we understand that, we can make that a repeatable process. You can actually make the success that you have in your life repeatable if you know why it worked and what qualities allowed it to work for you. Okay, so take about a minute, and you're just going to write down for each one how you were successful. How did you do it? Okay. Last step. What did you learn? So taking everything from what you accomplished, everything from how you accomplished it, and summing that up. So you have some space at the bottom. What did you learn from this exercise? And you've got about a minute to jot that down. And seconds. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, and for this first time, you can turn and share with the person next to you. This is the first and last time that you will be sharing with the person next to you because you'll be working with other people in the room today. So enjoy the comfort for the moment. And you're going to share 1 minute each on what you got from this exercise, or you can share what you accomplished this year, just kind of talking about your results. The person with the curliest hair goes first, and don't spend too much time figuring that one out. Just go, okay? Okay, switch. You have about 10 seconds to kind of wrap up your conversation. Okay, so if we can keep going here. Thank you for sharing. I'll just take two people. What did you get from that experience? What came up for you? Yes, Cindy. Ooh, yeah. So she said she has more power and intelligence than she gave herself credit for. So she can do hard work, which is excellent. Anybody else?
This was great. I feel like I can
Nice, nice. Yes, Abrielle. Uh-huh. Oh, hand it to Abrielle. So.
Wanda Tarini says, from looking at my list, I realized that the consistent how I did it was just doing it. Everything was forward progress, good or bad.
Nice. So everything is forward progress. I love that. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. Wanda was supposed to be here today and had some car trouble, and so she was not able to make it down, but she's still here with us by live stream, so thank you for that. All right, we're going to look now. We looked in the past to gain the skills and knowledge about what worked in the past for us, and now we're going to look towards the future. What I'd like you to do now is to turn your page to your vision, the vision page. And I want you to think about what is going to be true for you in a year. Or even, you can think further out for yourself if you'd like. I mean, if you want to, how do you see yourself being successful? Pick either a year or maybe 3 years down the road. I don't want you to look too far into the future, just a little bit of a peek, a glimpse at what's to come for you. And I want you, when you write your vision, to use all of your senses to do it. Use your sight, use smells, use touch, use emotion especially, because when we ground ourselves in emotion, we come to fruition, we manifest what we want in our lives substantially faster. Because we can feel ourselves there as if it has already happened. And then it's simply a matter of getting from where we are now to there, but it's the wheels are already turning, okay? So for the vision that I want you to write as if you're telling somebody about it in that future state. It's already happened. So an example would be, we'll say a year from now. It's January 2018, and I'm so excited to share with you what has transpired over the last year. I am now so present tense kinds of words. Go through each month, if in your mind, if that helps you, What did you accomplish in January, in February, in March, going through just mentally as you write down your vision statement. And don't take baby steps. Really jump into solidly where you want to be in your life. So if you have a big dream, put yourself there. Not, I'm going to do 10% better than I did this year. Really leap forward into that. Because even if you don't make it to that 300%, you've started moving yourself forward, and you're absolutely going to hit the 10%, if not, blow it out of the ballpark. So take a few moments. You're going to write your vision statement in the present tense, okay? Gabrielle, if you want to turn on the music. You have 3 minutes. I'll move. You have about a minute left. Ten seconds. Okay, so we're going to change partners. Take a moment to find someone else to share with, and thank you for creating a group of 3 where necessary. I appreciate that. And what you're going to do is you're going to stand up with your partner, if possible, and you're going to share with your partner what life is like for you now, a year later. Again, use emotion. Make everybody stand up, push your chairs in, unless you have an impediment to doing so, stand up. A lot more energy happens when you stand. And find a new partner, okay? Got about 10 seconds to find a partner. Lori, come over here maybe to this group of 3. Do a group of 3 here. We need, some of the groups need 3. Yeah, we're odd. Well, we're odd, but yes. Okay, you each have 2 minutes to share your story. And you don't need to read it. You already wrote it down. So just tell your story. Tell us what life is like and use emotion. If you are on the live stream, you can share your story in the live stream. Tell us what life is like. So Kate and Justin and Wanda and Renee and Jen. And Aisha, if you are able to, go ahead and type your vision. Tell us your story. Where are you going? What does the next year look like for you? If you haven't already, go ahead and switch. Okay, you have about 30 seconds. Go ahead and make your way back to your seats. You can give hugs if you'd like to, if you're of the hugging kind, if that feels good and right to you. All right, what did you get from that? What just happened? Do you have the mic around, Tony? What just happened? Would you like to share, Alicia? No, she's like, no.
I would say that things that I thought were maybe farther off, maybe aren't. You know, they could be, like you said, but it might be closer than I was thinking. So,
Cool.
yeah, that's good.
That's exciting. Some things that might have seemed farther off aren't necessarily so far off. Anybody else? What did you get from that?
I figured out a way to get unstuck somehow.
Ooh, very exciting.
but
And that was your goal, so we're good. Yeah.
I mean, I have, I will have to.
Right.
And I know that I will. Hope. Let's just say hope. Hope that I've gotten unstuck
Okay.
and things are flowing smoothly. But also, what I didn't realize was that I am bringing my family into my dealings and getting closer to my family.
Nice. Nice. That's very positive. Anybody else? One more? Oh, Abrielle.
Wanda says, I am so happy and grateful that I'm very healthy, eat organic, and financially very comfortable. I have a kick-ass team supporting and growing.
Oh, come on, Abrielle. Where's the emotion there?
Huh?
You read it with emotion.
I have a kick-ass team supporting and growing our InfoScript business in healthcare. I journey or meditate 4 to 5 times a week. I exercise 4 to 5 times a week. My house is clean. I pay people to help me more around the house. I'm happy and growing my family and business.
And so it is. So there you go. When we write it, when we feel it, when we believe it, we make it happen. You have to put yourself, you have to be able to see yourself doing the things that you want to do, because while you can't, they won't happen for you. So you truly have to believe it and feel it. When I do this, even just thinking about doing it, I get goosebumps. I get so excited about what is on the horizon, and I hope that's true for you as well. So now we have to break it down, right? We have to figure out. We just saw this great vision. We wrote this great vision. We talked about this great vision. The blocks are moving out of the way. The path is clear to making it happen. So now what do you need to do? Okay, so let's turn your page, and now we're going to get into the steps. Okay? The top of it should say, what are your activities? The coach that I've worked with, Fabienne Fredrickson of boldheart.com, calls these your exponential growth activities. The big things that you can do to move forward in a big way. This is not just your little, okay, every day I'm going to reach out to one client. I mean, that might be it, right? If you're not doing that at all. But what are the big steps that you're going to take, the big activities that really will provide for that big vision that you just set for yourself? I've given you space to come up with about 10. Don't necessarily consider these goals unless you're using the kind of goal that Jim Collins and Jerry Porras talk about in Built to Last, and those are the big, hairy, audacious goals, okay? We want big kinds of steps that you can take. We will break it down into something doable for you, but as I said before, you have to see yourself moving in this big direction in order to go in that big direction. If you only ever see yourself taking small steps, that's exactly what will happen, okay? So what I'd like you to do is pull from your vision, from where you're going, pull from what you learned about yourself from 2017, from your reflection, and what are you aiming for? Write these activities down. Mike Dooley, he actually brought his book with me. He wrote tons of books. One of them is called Playing the Matrix. And in it he says, you knock on every single door. Not all of them will open, but at least you're moving in that, at least you're trying them all out. Test each one, because what happens is when you do, one of them will open. But if you're not knocking on any doors, none of them will open, right? There will be no movement. Likewise, again, as I mentioned, Fabienne Fredrickson, she says you have to put your car in gear. You cannot move a parked car. You can steer your car once it's moving, but have you ever tried while it's in park to turn the steering wheel and the wheels are just, they're stuck. So any activity is going to move you into your vision, and think about that as you're as you're writing down these 10 activities to focus on for this year. Okay? Not yet, not yet. So take about, let's see, where are we? 9, 10. Let's see what we have here before the break. Okay, we have enough time. So you're going to take about 5 minutes because I'm giving you even more time to pull this out. So we'll start with, we'll see where we are at 3 minutes of writing down your activities, and then we'll go into the values that are there. Okay. How's everybody doing? Do you need more time? No, yes. I'll give you another minute. Okay. We're going to pair off again or group again. Somebody different, somebody that you have not worked with yet. And what you're going to do is you're going to go back through and you're going to fill in the values, but you'll work together. Okay, so for each activity that you've written down, what is the value of completing that activity. And really get to the core of what it means to you, to your work, to your mission, in order to complete that you complete that particular activity. Okay, so that you start embodying it and understanding why you would want to do it, especially if it's a stretch. I mean, I know Alicia, you'd shared about. Is it okay to share about being on Dave Ramsey? Yeah, she's going to be on Dave Ramsey, so that's a big goal, right? And what's the value of that? What does it mean to your life, to your work, to what you're doing, to be on Dave Ramsey? Yeah, absolutely, it's happening. Okay, so someone new or your new group, and you'll have a few minutes to flesh out all of these values and work on that together. Okay.
Okay. So one area is in physical wellness by year. All for, you know, I did this year.
If you haven't done so already, go ahead and switch. Or if you're working together, that's fine. Just keep going.
Sweet. I know what the values are. I can see what I wear. And even hope what
I really need to kind of make this spreadsheet. Right. What I do and yes. Yeah, right. Somebody else comes through. We're finding a trend.
Interesting that you would find a trend. That's amazing. I don't know how that happened. Okay. We'll talk about that. Yes, please be writing down your values along with the activities. Yep. Fill that in. Okay. All right, let's bring it back together. Take a moment to wrap up, write your last word, and come back to your seat. Put down just your last thing that you're getting from this and come back and we'll keep going. So when we have a big vision for ourselves, even if, and maybe a big vision that's kind of a little scary to walk towards, to think that we need to do it all at once is completely and utterly overwhelming and can paralyze you just in that moment. It can paralyze you just in having the vision. And I don't want that for you. I want to make sure that you not only see yourself there, but you also understand that there is a path. You don't even have to know what the path is. You just have to start walking towards it. Your next step will be revealed to you in turn. So you don't have to know exactly how you're going to get from A to B. Mike Dooley talks about, I mentioned him before, he talks about when we focus too much on how we're going to do it, we are going to get stuck. So we don't need to focus on how we're going to do it. We simply need to focus on what the next step along the way might be to move towards that particular that particular vision that we have for ourselves. And always keep in mind as we're doing this that you've noticed I've used certain words here. We're walking towards a vision. We're not running away from something else. So you're never punishing yourself. You're never moving away from a negative situation. You're always moving towards the positive situation that you want to create and keeping that positive emotion as you go along. So the activities that you're writing down, these are you knocking on doors. It's possible that what you've written down will not come to pass the way you've written it down. In fact, it's probably likely it's not going to come out exactly how you wrote it down because it'll happen that way or in an even better and unexpected way in your life, which is exciting, right? It's almost as though You know a gift is coming. You know it's going to be really, really good. You just don't know exactly how good it's going to be just yet. But imagine it's going to be exactly what you need. So for each of the activities, I had you think about and write down the value of doing that activity. What's it worth it to you? It may be putting yourself out on a limb to do a particular task. It might stretch you. So knowing why you're doing it, basically, and holding on to that can be really important, especially if you're asking yourself to do something you've never done before, which I highly encourage you to do. Very good results when you try something new. What is the value? So can I have somebody share? You can share one or two of your activities and then share what the value is. Tony's got us covered for doing that.
Several of my areas have similar values. Most of the areas of growth and goals are about supporting who I am and what I do and what I'm meant to do, why I'm here.
Right.
Because I shouldn't have been here. I should have died in 2002. And I see this all as extra credit. And every day is a gift. And I want to make sure to use that gift to the best of my ability. And all of these goals support that.
Wonderful. You were not the only one to see a trend. Judy and James also saw a trend. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I think we were talking about a trend, like basically what he has on his paper is what I have on mine.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So it has a lot to do with, growing our businesses and family, super important. Just the whole financial and like, even though you hate to be financial focus, it is so important because it allows like everything else on the paper to happen. So, so we were thinking maybe a lot of people in this room may have the same kind of things going on,
So
especially
what
being
would you say?
entrepreneurs.
Are there some similar trends here? You said family, finances. Cynthia said living her purpose, I believe was kind of how she put it. Did those things come up for others in the group? Yeah. And it's not so much that we focus on the financial, the financial is a means to an end, right? And it's a means to, and it's another sign of abundance, but it's not the only one. So you mentioned the other ones. Family is a sign of abundance. Health is a sign of abundance. Money is a sign of abundance. What else comes to mind? Time. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure why that did not come to my mind first. It definitely should have. Relationships, happiness, all of these things are signs of abundance. And the fabulous part about it is you can start right now living in the abundance that's coming simply by taking some steps towards it. So what could you do? It's interesting, I wasn't expecting to talk about this right now, but I just completed an online class for organizing called Love Your Home. And thank you. There were some of you in this group that were also there online. And we talked about the journey, we talked about your vision, and we talked about bringing the reality of your journey into your current reality. So if it seems really far off, what can you do right now to bring it into your current reality? You're going to be on the Dave Ramsey Show at some point in the future, sooner rather than later, given what you've told me. So what could you do right now to create that reality for yourself?
I would say with as hectic as my schedule is at this very current time, just listening to his podcast right now and listening to the YouTube videos and getting a fresh air to what he's saying and talking about right now.
So listening to his podcast and maybe envisioning yourself as a guest. Or you could Are there other podcasts out there?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Could you be on those?
Possibly.
Alicia's eyebrows just went,
Or
yeah.
connect to people that are associated
Connect to
with his,
people. Yeah, absolutely.
his organization.
Definitely. How does that feel?
Good.
Good.
I'm not intimidated. It's already
Excellent.
there.
It's there. It's already done. It's already done. What else? What is the value of completing these activities, and how can you bring that vision that you have for yourself into your current reality? The windows will look really interesting right now. Go ahead, Maria.
One of my activities this year, it's actually my number one business goal, is that I am going to be intentional about starting to help people grow their businesses and whatever it is. And it doesn't mean that I insert what I do in my business at all.
Yes.
It's just seeking out connections that I can make for other people
Mm-hmm.
and how I can help them get their goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are some people in here that are getting started with their businesses. Could you do something today
I
to
think
bring that reality?
absolutely. I think I already did. I met with Alicia, and we're going to definitely connect and find out what areas of possibly I'd like to get to know her business a little bit more, just to find out what areas that she's looking for some assistance in,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm also connected to a service organization that are looking for opportunities.
Excellent.
So
Excellent. Very good. Okay, so you're going to be knocking on doors. You're going to be knocking on at least 10 doors, and probably others will reveal themselves that you're going to knock on to see what might happen. And some of those doors won't open, and that's okay. Stop knocking, keep moving. There's many other doors to knock on. You've got a ton of doors that need to be knocked on before the end of this year and before the end of your lifetime. So keep going. What will you commit to working on in 2018 to reach your vision? You just wrote down 10 activities. Are you willing to commit to those with me today, to trying those activities out? Yes? No? I mean, it's, okay, it's up to you. You'll get out of it what you put into it. So, yeah. So we're going to commit today to that. Okay. Your metaphor. This is how you see yourself. You can see yourself as moving towards your vision, or you can see yourself staying exactly where you are or some other way. But the former is more powerful. I imagine that you already have some vision of yourself. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to close your eyes, and I'd like you to imagine who that person is that achieves the vision that you just created for yourself. Who is that person? What does she look like? What does he look like? What does he wear? What kinds of activities does she engage in? How does she appear to others? Get a picture of yourself. And if you want to explore this, I would encourage you to. You don't have to be human. Your picture of yourself could be an object. It could be an animal. And when you're ready, open your eyes. It's helpful to change your story. You might not yet be seeing yourself as the kind of person that can achieve the vision that you just created. I'd like you to take a few moments to write down what you saw, to create your metaphor. This metaphor that's going to be good for you right now probably wouldn't have worked for you in the past and may not work in the future. I'll give you an example. Last year I did this exercise, something very similar to it. And as I was going through and writing my vision and writing my activities, this image of myself as as, this is like deep share here, right? This image of myself as larger than what I am now, just big kind of a person, but I wasn't a person. I had wings, I wore a white dress, I just saw myself kind of standing open like this. And so I saw that vision of myself, and I went online, I kind of Googled some pictures that I could put to it, and I found immediately this picture that somebody had, an artist drawing, and it was Archangel Jophiel was the name of it, okay? And so I Googled that. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So I Googled it. The picture really struck a chord with me, and I keep it, in front of myself regularly. But I went to look, and it said that she could be described as the archangel of feng shui and organization. So I went, oh, well, of course, that fits. And I just thought the synchronicity of it all was very powerful. But there are other images that I keep in my mind as well that help me see the power and the energy and the values that I have and that I'd like to take towards my vision. So I'd like you to take a few moments and describe your metaphor for you. You can use this when you go back to your offices and go back home and find an image or a music soundtrack or a candle scent or something that represents the metaphor that you're going to create for yourself today. Okay? You can get creative with this. You don't have to limit yourself to words. Pictures, colors are great. I've left a few highlighters out for you if you want to incorporate those. But expand on it when you get back to your space and you have more tools and crafting supplies available. Who would like to go out on a limb with me? It's a sturdy limb, I promise. And share your metaphor. Yes, Cynthia. A butterfly. Okay, great. Transformation. Healing. Wholeness. Nice. Excellent. Anyone else? Oh, it's coming. Yeah. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Sorry.
Just you.
Yeah. I I do not know how to draw.
It's
That is
okay.
not my gift.
Not a requirement.
But I drew the sun,
Hmm.
and I drew the world. And so the sun represents God, the universe, the real power.
Right.
And then my light, shining light on the world, and then the world shining its light on me, and together we kind of
Ooh.
grow.
Oh, that's really powerful. I've got goosebumps. Thank you. Yeah, Maria.
My metaphor is a tree.
Mhm.
The roots are a reflection of me being grounded in my
Okay.
faith and just in self and family. I have a very strong trunk. The tree's really big, so
Nice.
that is an expression of strength and presence. And it's a flourishing tree with fruit because I have resources to offer. I have people. I would want people to be able to pick from the tree, pick from my resources to be able to be nourished and to be fulfilled. I also have branches that have fallen to the ground, and I have striations in my trunk, and that's just my vulnerability to know that I don't have it all figured out, and I myself have gone through struggles, and I continue to lose branches and I lose leaves to then get new ones, and to know that I don't have it all figured out, and that's not what I want to project as a tree, that like I'm an untouchable, like, oh,
Right.
it's just, she's perfect, she's got it figured out. I don't.
And what I see in that is, and yet the tree remains strong and whole. So really beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So for those of you who are in the accountability group, share with me, you've done exercises like this already in our masterminds. Share with me what is good about that. What is good about seeing yourself, about creating a vision for yourself and committing to your activities? What's good about that? Yes. Mm-hmm. Nice. Good, good. Anybody else? Yes, James.
I've seen at the beginning a lot of focus and clarity came up, and that's where that 30-day focus and clarity is what's been really valuable to me, just to work through that and get that. And now
Excellent.
in 30 days, I can achieve that.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing. Oh, we are. Oh my goodness, could not be more on time than we are right now. 10 o'clock. So go ahead and take a 15-minute break. Refresh, stretch your legs. There's water here at the front, and we will regroup in 15 minutes. Bathrooms, as I said, are out the door and to the right. Okay. Continued on. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start again. Thank you for taking a break to refresh. We're actually going to talk about that as a productivity tool and how you can use it. It's a good example of a of doing it right now. Drinking water, stretching your legs, shifting your focus. Okay. So in the first half of this class, we reflected, we set our vision, we saw ourselves in that vision, we looked at the activities that we will need to complete, or the activities that would be helpful to move towards that particular vision and the value of those activities. We're going to break it down even further, and we're going to learn the tools that you can use to actually get that work done. Okay? Turn the page here, something fresh. If you've looked at your sheet already, then you'll see that I've broken the year down into quarters for you. But I didn't have you take yourself where you are now and try and figure out how to get where you want to be. You're going to work backwards. So you're going to start with where you want to be, and then what needs to be true on September 30th in order to get you there by December 31st. What needs to be true on June 30th in order to get you to where you want to be on September 30th. So what needs to be true on March 30th in order to get you to where you want to be on June 30th. Oddly, all these are written down on my card, but I feel the need to look at Angel's paper. I don't know. So start with the end in mind, the vision that you have for yourself, and then work yourself backwards from that. So I'm actually starting you with September 30th. And I just want you to take a moment, take a minute to write down what needs to be true for you on September 30th. What is your vision for yourself on September 30th? Okay? Imagining the vision that you've already created. Okay, if you've got September 30th done, you're going to move closer now. What needs to be true on June 30th in order to create the vision for yourself for September? And just to shake things up a little bit this time, I'm going to look for some responses from those folks on Zoom. I'm actually going to just call you out by name since I know who's there listening, along with those that are in this room. So make sure you put something in. Okay. Now that you have your vision for June, we're going to bring it a little bit closer now, and the end of March. So the end of March, what needs to be true in order to get to where you want to be in June, in order to create the vision for June? What are you learning from this? What's coming up? What lessons are you learning from what you just wrote down? And I'm not sure. Do we have the mic again? What are you learning from this? Yes, Jolene. Oh, wait.
That everything is incremental. That
okay.
Some things have to happen first before the next thing can happen.
Okay.
So there's a rhythm, kind of in how starting is kind of sometimes the hardest thing,
right?
But then once you get started, it's pretty clear what needs to be the next step, I think.
Okay, good. So that each next step that I said would be revealed actually comes clear. Very nice. Yes, Cindy, what are you learning from this?
That I've been going about doing what I'm trying to do backwards.
Oh, okay.
I've been taking little pieces of my new business and doing little bits instead of making the big picture.
Right.
And, like making a spreadsheet and a checklist kind of thing so that, after I do the first little piece, I don't say, okay, I'm done.
Right.
I can say, okay, here's the next and the next.
Right, right. There's more to it. And it all fits together then. Very nice. Abrielle, do we have Renee or Wanda or Kate? Justin? No? Okay. So if you guys could write down what you're getting from this on the live stream, and we will share that out to the group. So what are you learning in and looking at it from this perspective? Did you have one more? Anybody else one more lesson? Yes, Lori. Yeah.
And then having to say really specifically a time and working backwards is such a surprise to my brain, but it makes it really doable.
It does.
Because of course when I get this done, that's going to happen next.
Right, exactly.
And
you shake things up a little bit. I like how you said it's a little uncomfortable, but so is being the new person that you're going to be. You have to get used to fitting in that body again, and then you move to the next thing. So I love that. Thank you. Abrielle, do we have anybody yet? No. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, live streamers, don't leave us hanging here. Okay. This is a tool that, the next page is a tool that we use in the accountability group. And that is to create your areas of focus for the next 30 days. So we went from 9 months out, 6 months out, 3 months out, and now we're down to 30 days out. So this is, what are you doing? This is, you're in it now. You're in the soup, okay? So, and you're in the soup. What are the areas you need to focus on? And notice there aren't 10 spaces here. It is not realistic that you focus on 10 activities in a month to get to the vision that you've created for yourself. I want you to focus on 4 activities. You can pull them from your activities list, the 10 that we began with, or they may even yet still be subsets of that. So you could also pull them from what you just did in our activity where we broke it down. 4 areas of focus for February 10th, 2018, knowing that you don't have to know the whole path to take the first step, okay? So you've got 2 minutes to write it down, and let's see, what do we have here? The focus area, and then taking the first step. What does the first step look like, okay? So 2 minutes to write those focus areas. You've got 10 seconds. Okay, sharing with someone you have not yet worked with today. Find a new partner, a new group of 3, and you've got 1 minute each to talk about what you are going to do and your first step. Okay? Go ahead and switch. When you're ready, bring it back together. Okay, guys, it's time to come back. So all of this is good. You're figuring out the steps that you need to take. You're on the right path. Each next step is being revealed to you. We still have some places where we might get stuck. Possible pitfalls, right? This is where I come in. Right? Productivity. So productivity just means getting the work done and getting more of the work that you want to be doing done that's going to move you towards the vision you have for yourself. We're going to talk first a little bit about deep work. There's a book by that title. Cal Newport wrote it, Deep Work. And it's not a new concept. We can go back into the history of the world to find examples of really big thinkers, people who have made really big changes in the world and in history or in their own lives, who took time to be thoughtful and work uninterrupted. So deep work is about giving yourself the space and time to think and act on the big ideas that you have. Who here on a regular basis feels like they have time in their schedule to do deep work without giggling too loud? Yeah, and that's what I hear a lot. It's that you're always putting out fires. You're moving from one thing to the next without necessarily an intentionality there or thought process. It's just what needs to be done next. Yes, Cynthia. Right, so going on a retreat is excellent. Okay, quarterly retreats are a great way to get some deep work into your schedule. But if it's quarterly, then you're still waiting for that time. I would encourage you to find time even more frequently to block out for yourself to think. So Sabbath. Ooh, why do you think? Yes. So interestingly, I think it's interesting. If we look at all of the world's major religions, we're given a prescription for what is healthy and good for us. These truths that just permeate all through humanity over and over. If you take one day a week to take a break, to disconnect from anything, if you connect in community, if you spend time in prayer, all of this is said over and over in every major religion, right? I don't think that's a coincidence. Just saying, I think there may be something to that. Might be something to listen to. There's a difference between being busy and being productive, and our goal here is to be productive. You can be busy and truly get nowhere. I mean, you could be digging a hole in sand. You're very busy. You're not getting anywhere, and you're not getting certainly to the vision that you've created for yourself. Deep work is one way to get to that place. So what does deep work look like? Any thoughts or examples on that? Quiet. Deep work is quiet. Okay. Yes, Jennifer. Mm-hmm. Okay, so getting to the heart of the matter, working in the morning. Okay. 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 Okay, so those are good ways to get into deep work. Quieting yourself, setting an intention, meditating, and then pausing and thinking about what you're doing in any given moment. But deep work is even disconnecting more to actually get the work done, to actually read, write, act on, record, play music, whatever your vision has in store for you, to actually do those 10 activities that you said were most important, to take time to do them or figure out how to do them during that deep work time. Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a difference between doing a set of activities and doing deep work. So deep work you actually carve out for, it may be slightly directionless at the beginning as you sit down and go, okay, I have my list of the big activities, the growth activities that I have for myself. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here and think about them. I'm going to sit here and think about what steps need to be taken. What's going to help me move forward on those. It's not I need to write a report. I need to answer emails. That's not deep work. So deep work is definitely thought provoking and a thought process. Yes, James. Do you want to give him the mic, Tony?
Yeah, so it's just you've helped me like differentiate between those two types of work, and then carving out time in the morning where I just focus on those projects that are going to move things forward, and I don't check email, I don't go on social media until those things are worked on and I've made progress, and like setting goals each day for the progress I'm going to make with those projects.
Good, good. So you can kind of feel, even just kind of how he's talking about it, you can kind of feel the difference. But it's also setting yourself up for success. If you have 5 projects or 5 things that you want to get done, is it realistic that you get all of them done? How much time do they need to take? You know, so you're giving yourself the time and space to get them done. If you tend to be a perfectionist, then it kind of comes from the other side. You maybe want to limit, okay, I have this container of space and time to get this particular task done. And then, yes, move on to the next thing. Did you have something to add, Alicia?
I was just going to say that asking questions is really important. So for me, like I had an activity 2 days ago, yesterday, where I had to write a mission statement. And I realized that was kind of holding me up on other things. Well, that takes some introspection. So I turned everything off. It was quiet in my house. And then I just like cleared my head for a little bit, did some deep breathing, and then just started asking a couple of questions that made sense, you know, and that I was, you know, encouraged to do. So that helped. And it was like a step by step. Like I started with what words are important to me. And then, you know, well, what is it that I really want to do? Not like, what is it I actually want to do? And then from those two things, the statement just kind of was like, and that came out quick. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Yep. And when we don't give ourselves space to think, that's not going to happen. You're just going to keep digging that hole in sand. You're not going to come out of it. You have to pause enough to see that there's a rope right behind you. Just grab it. It's there for you. Okay, so what are you going to do? When will you block time to focus deeply on thinking activities? How will you protect that time? Take a moment to jot down your answer there. So the next step along this path, I'm kind of outlining 5 key areas that you can work on to truly increase your productivity. The next challenge here is creating a morning routine. Being very, I'm going to use the word again, intentional about what you do every day to begin your day makes a huge difference. It's getting up and saying, you know what, this, as Cynthia said, this day is a gift. And what am I going to do? You can take your gift and enjoy yourself and your body and care for your body. You can take your gift and use it to grow in other ways, to help others. Every way that you can use it is fine, but being specific about how you're going to use your day. Hal Elrod wrote a book called The Miracle Morning. And he outlines his 6 activities that he uses every day as he gets up and gets going. And they include things, he takes 10 minutes for each one. And actually he says if you want to just start this out, you could take 1 minute for each one just so that you can get the ball rolling. But exercise, reading, meditation or prayer, affirmations, visualization, journaling. It spells savers. So I think I said exercise. So he's doing these 6 activities every day, 10 minutes each, and it just lays the foundation. And he says it's worth getting up. Right now, if you do not have time in your day, it is worth losing an hour of sleep to get up and do a morning routine. I know. If you already get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, as you said, Cynthia, then maybe looking to where you can shorten some other activity in your day to take that time, first off, for yourself to get yourself going. If you're working on a project, you may find that you work on that project in your morning routine. You could potentially do some deep work in your morning routine. That's a possibility. It truly is the key to having a successful day, that you're not asking yourself every morning that you get up, although it looks cute on cartoons, oh, what am I going to do today? It'll be 5 o'clock before you figure that out. I mean 5 p.m., not a.m., before you figure that out, right? So getting up and saying, okay, I'm going to visualize, I'm going to read, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to drink water. That's part of when I have to add that to the list, drink water. And sometimes that's the only reading I get in the day. But if you do that, for instance, if you read 10 minutes a day, how many more books could you read every year than what you're currently experiencing in your life? What activities will you complete every morning to set yourself up for success? Who here has a morning routine already? Oh, good. Okay, so we have about half and some iffies, and maybe on some days I have a morning routine. Yeah, a lot of So I will go back to that value question. If you were to commit to a morning routine, what would the value of that be in your life? Huge. Quantify it for me. Give me some examples. Okay, so Angel said if she's productive early, the rest of her day is good. What's good? What does that mean? Okay. Right. So it's almost as though without the morning routine, you find yourself putting out fires for other people instead of doing the things that you want to do, that would fulfill the goals and vision you have for yourself. Would you rather be in the driver's seat or along for the ride? What else? What's the value of doing a morning routine to you specifically? Mm-hmm.
It level sets my day. I focus on me, and I put me and my need first for the day, and then I'm able to then give the rest of myself to whatever it is, to my children, to my clients, or to my husband, or whatever it is, then however the need arises, then I don't feel like I've cheated myself.
Does anybody here have trouble putting themselves first? I'll just raise them in the air. You're in good company. Yeah, so the morning routine is taking that time for yourself intentionally first. Overused metaphor, but putting the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping others. Do you want to come to your work, to your family, with an empty cup? Or do you want to give them your best? You're not helping anybody when you don't come full and ready to give and pour yourself out into your life, into your work, into those around you. And the way to do that is to start by taking care of your needs and then going to help others. So yes, Cynthia.
But I try to, in the morning, get God-centered rather than self-centered, and let God show me what's the next right thing. I don't always know what it is in my personality that will stand in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. That's one of my prayers. But I ask God to show me what's next. because left to my own devices, I drive the train in the ditch. If I only focus on my own needs, I'm going to mess up.
Right. Nice. And I don't think that's, I don't think it's contradictory, because I believe that God is within each of us. And so we care for that divinity first, and then the rest follows. So write it down. What activities will you complete every morning to set yourself up for success? You can choose them now. And taking the recommendation from Hal Elrod, it doesn't have to be an hour to begin with. Start with 1 minute. That gives you a 6-minute morning routine. If you cannot find 6 minutes in your day yet, there's something in your day that can go. You can get off of Facebook. Although don't, yeah. But you can find it somewhere else. Okay? Yes, Words with Friends can wait. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Okay.
That part. But is it okay to add on? Is it okay to add on a list to after I got my morning routine ready? Like, I need to cross off these 3 things that are going to launch me into where I hope to be.
Okay.
Even if they're simple little things.
Simple little things are fine. Okay. Success happens incrementally over time. That's my belief. So it can be simple little steps. Give me an example. What do you think? Just so I can.
So I just wrote, okay, after my morning time, create a short list of what needs to happen to launch my business. So contact a client, come up with, investigate or write down ideas that will help the content of the workshops I want to create, and then connect with one person that will help me with my vision. That doesn't need to be a client. That just needs like networking, friends, family,
That
etc.
sounds great and perfect, and part of the next step that we'll talk about, which is creating systems.
Okay, great.
Yeah, totally fine. Okay, so systems. Systems are putting the things that you do every day on autopilot. And I know this sounds like a contradiction to being intentional, but it's not. 40% of what we do on a daily basis, we do out of habit. There are things that you don't actually need to think about, and it's okay not to. You don't need to think about which tooth in your mouth you're going to brush first. You probably have a habit for doing your teeth brushing routine. It's okay not to be 100% fully present as you brush your teeth. There are other things like that. So that's one area, things that are habits. Systems go beyond that, though. It's the step-by-step way that you do things. It's deciding ahead of time what that process is, and documenting it so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you go do that particular activity. So it kind of goes between both, but you probably have a way that you wash your body in the shower. You probably have a way that you just get ready in the morning. You may go to the bathroom, turn on the water, undress, brush your teeth, get in the shower, and you're not thinking about that step-by-step process anymore. Decision making is a very brain energy intensive activity. So the things that are not high-level decision making that we need to do on a daily basis, we want to find ways to systematize those and put them on autopilot. You'll save yourself energy and a lot of sanity if you do it. And the fabulous offshoot of this is once something is systematized, it could potentially be delegated. I don't suggest you delegate the shower activity. It's best if you do that one yourself. But there are other things, okay? So I want you to think about, and for this one, let's just go ahead and partner with the person next to you. What can you put on autopilot what can you document so that you're not reinventing the wheel every time you complete an activity? And put a star next to those things that if you were to systematize them, you could delegate them. So go ahead and talk this through with your partner, your table partner. And James, if you want to kind of, Alicia and Jennifer, if you want to kind of group James in.
Always like safety. So I would say that was an
If you haven't switched, go ahead and switch or just continue talking. So many possibilities when we use that word instead of the other one.
What do you already?
Yeah. Right. No. What can you do? What's possible? Yes. One question. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Thank you, Wanda. So a question came up on whether or not you put meditation and exercise on autopilot. And that's a good question. So I would say that's probably a good place to create a system. Meditation specifically requires full presence. Exercise, maybe not. You know, exercise maybe, if you're using exercise as meditation, then yes, you'd want to be aware of. But exercise is an interesting one because that could actually be a fidget, which allows you to kind of up the energy level so that you can think about other things. So you could potentially put something like exercise on autopilot, but I would differentiate that, you know, on those lines. So an example of this is, for those in the accountability group, I will often walk on my treadmill while I'm texting everybody every morning. I'm not thinking about walking, but I actually get an hour of exercise in if I do it that way, because I just walk. You can walk about 2.5 miles an hour and still type, just to let you know. I figured that out. Otherwise, you can watch a movie. But that would be an example of autopilot and fitting it in, you know, kind of when it works. And it works too because for me, exercise helps me focus and think. So I will often go for a run if I need to clear my mind and think some big thoughts, rather than just sit and try and make that happen. Does that help, Wanda? She'll write back. I'm sure. I know there were some other questions that came up around this. So what are some questions or some thoughts, or what are you coming up with here? Yes, Cynthia.
Financial stability, whatever,
Okay.
the paying bills and all that, I tend to put that off
Okay.
because I don't have enough money to go around. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. I mean, it's just barely coming out of the hole.
Right.
So I know it'll be better later on this year.
Right.
But fear comes in.
Okay.
In trying to make it an autopilot and a system, fear comes in that, oh my God, I'm going to be not able to pay all the bills.
Right.
And so instead, I put my head in the sand, put it in a pile, so I'll deal with it later.
Okay, and that particular topic isn't the only one where fear will raise its ugly head and keep us from doing what we need to and want to do. For your specific challenge, I would highly recommend a system online called You Need a Budget. I know. Do you have it, Angel? It's really cool, and it will show you how much money Peter has and whether or not you need to call on Paul. Yeah, it makes you very intentional about every dollar that goes in and out. It's the best budgeting software I've seen because it's not I'm going to write a budget and then I'm going to go over here and spend my money. You're looking at it immediately right in front of you, so I recommend that. Yeah, no. So coming in and talking about that, yeah, definitely. So that's probably not something that you'd want to put on autopilot because it looks like you need to actually confront a challenge there. There's a lesson there. We're going to talk about the things that come up in our lives that keep us from reaching our vision. Okay, so we'll talk about that a little bit more. Anything else around systems? Yes, Abrielle.
Wanda asked about ways that she can link required activities with desired activities. So like doing affirmations during her shower, desire statement while brushing her teeth. Systems for business are easier for her than systems for personal goals.
Yes. Okay. So yes to all of that. You can definitely link desired and required activities together, just like the typing while walking, running while thinking. All of that can go together. You can read a book while going to the bathroom. It's a possibility. It's okay. Full permission right there to do that. The other part of that statement is actually putting the oxygen mask on first. It's easier to take care of things within your business, potentially, because even still, it's not focusing on you. And so where do we take the time for ourselves and do the things that we need for ourselves versus the things that serve? It sounds almost valiant. You're serving your higher purpose. You're doing the work you're supposed to be doing. You're making money for your family. Great that you're putting that first. But that's still a cop-out from noticing where you are and what needs you have and living in that and not being fearful to look at it. It's honestly not very different from the financial, it's a fear-based perspective. So, love you, Wanda. That was all lovingly said. There's a book called Work the System by Sam Carpenter. And all of these books, I think all of them are on like audio recording as well. You can check them out from the library. For this particular one, the value is in understanding the value of systems. He's not going to tell you what systems to make or how to make a system. He talks about what life was like before he had a system and what it was like after. The next step to productivity is organization. And I really, for me, organization boils down to making decisions. making decisions about what things go together, making decisions about what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life, making decisions about where those things go. Those are the 3 steps of organization, and those are the 3 areas where you'll make decisions. The book that I recommend here is called Organizing from the Inside Out by Julie Morgenstern. It was written in the 90s. I've yet to see an organizing book that replaces hers. There have been quite a few written. I've written one myself, which is fabulous for other reasons, but really the go-to for organizing. So where or what organization could you use in your life to streamline what you're doing? Where are you not making decisions? Where are you not assigning things a home? Where are you not letting go of the excess? Or where are you not noticing where the excess is coming in? Where are things not grouped together that make sense to go together? Where could you use more organization in decision making? Why don't you like go ahead and talk about that with your table mate, and then we'll go on to the next. Tony, do you have the mic? Okay, so what came up? Where can we use organization to be more productive? Where can you use organization?
I noticed that I need to let go of stuff because I have a lack of trust in the abundance of the universe. I have a scarcity mentality. I hold on to stuff just in case I might need it in the future.
Right.
Without trusting that it will be there when I need it, even though I don't need it now.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And that's something that I think for everyone at varying places in their life, that crops up. So so trusting that what you need will be there for you when you need it. And you may have had some experiences in the past where you felt like what you needed wasn't there when you needed it. And so that made you come to a place where you clung more and more to stuff, people, time, activities that helped you feel safe and secure. But when we have that around us, it's like a cocoon, and it's time, as your metaphor said, to be that butterfly and to break free of it. it's hard to be in that trusting, abundant mindset because it's unfamiliar to us, right? It's not how we've been thinking all of these years. We haven't been thinking all of these years that we're amazing, that we have this amazing potential, this vision for ourselves. And so to trust that that's true, that's already true. We simply need, a few days need to pass in between now and then, but it's coming, it's there. And to trust that it's, there are places where it already exists in our lives. That's a scary place to be because it's unfamiliar. It may currently be a painful place for you, but yet this particular discomfort, this particular pain, and so you're willing to stay here like that frog in the pot of boiling water. You're willing to stay there as it gets hotter and hotter because, well, this is the way it's been. This is the way it's always been. It's pretty comfortable in this place. Not realizing you're cooking. You're going to die in that spot. You have to hop out. And it might be hard. It might be hard to even push yourself deeper into the pot in order to, get the leverage to pop out of that pot. But it's possible. It's just requiring you to get out of where you currently are. Anybody else? What did you come up with organization? Wanda in the back.
Wanda says she organizes the start of her day with a daily schedule, then she clears her workspace, organizes the call list, and does her sales and email automation.
Great. So she's got a system around her organization, which is great. And when we have that, actually, I'll ask you that. When you have space, whether it is physical space or mental space or time space, what happens? It frees you up, right? We talked about creating space for deep work so that you could think. What's possible when you have space? Yes. You can get a different perspective. Great. You're not stuck in the pot. You're not just stuck right in, in the middle of it all. Okay. Our next strategy is productive rest. This is really deciding and choosing the rest that's going to rejuvenate you. I like to look at how everything works together and how you can be more productive from the science of it all. We can come at this from the spiritual side. We can come at it from the science side. It all kind of blends together in the end because what we're talking about are just truths, right? So from the science side of it, I said already that decision making is a brain energy intensive kind of an activity. So anytime that we're spending a lot of time in thought, it drains the brain. It requires more energy to do that. When your brain is fresh, as a number of you have said in the morning, I can think, when your brain is fresh, then you're engaging all the different parts of it. And so, specifically, you're engaging your prefrontal cortex, which allows you to pretty much organize the thoughts in your brain. You can think of your prefrontal cortex as the conductor. It houses your executive functions, which control organization, time management, goal setting, future planning, and working memory. So working memory is holding one thought and another thought and putting them together. So this is walking from one room to the next and remembering why you even started the journey in the first place, okay? That's working memory. Adding two numbers together and coming up with a result and then adding that to something else. All done through working memory. When your prefrontal cortex is energized, it's got all the energy it needs, your working memory is going, your conductor is, she's great, she's standing up there, she's pulling all these pieces together, life is good, right? She is the first one to go down once your energy stores start to diminish. And we're not necessarily talking, we can't just plug our brain in like we do our phone and get all the juices back up, right? We have to do some specific activities to make that happen. So those activities are sleeping, which you might expect, good night's sleep, right? Eating, but not just eating junk food. We want to fuel that part of our brain. So we need good whole foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, lots of water. Water is another thing that can help fuel your brain. And exercise. So those are the 4 areas that you want to focus on. So productive rest, it recharges your brain because it taps into using one of those 4 ways to recharge your brain. And I've listed a number of them in your book, okay? You can, as I said, drink water. So when you're starting to feel that slump of, I've been sitting in this class since 8:30 in the morning, and now I need some productive rest to get my brain going again. Everybody in here just, well, actually everybody on this side of the room just took a drink of water. It's your turn now. You guys all need to drink the water. We can pass the water around. Okay, so use this in your day-to-day living as well. You start to feel like, I'm not making good decisions right now. I just got short with somebody. My kids are frustrating me. My husband's bothering me. What could I could go drink a drink of water. I didn't say glass of wine. Drink of water. Glass of wine is at the end of the day. Right? You can go for a brisk walk. None of this should take more than 15 minutes. Stand up and stretch. We could just do that. Just stand up and stretch and twist if you need to. Yawn. Do whatever you need to do. Little dance party. Get your body moving. Lori's going to guide us in some drumming in just a minute here. She has a great class. It's the 3rd Thursday. Oh, it moved. Okay, every Tuesday night. Where is it, Lori? Oh, okay, so the Presbyterian Church in Havre de Grace, Lori leads groups of fabulous people in cardio drumming at 6:30. You just drum to music, move your body, and it's a lot of fun. We added some new songs to our song list because of going. So, take 3 deep breaths. Again, raising your hands over your head as you do. You can go outside. Connecting, grounding. You can walk on the ground if it's safe to do so in your bare feet and connect with the earth. You can talk to a friend or a coworker, and this is not like, oh my gosh, my life right now. That's not what we're talking about, but just switching gears a little bit. Get up from your desk, talk to a friend or coworker. View an image of nature or truly anything green. So if you can't go outside, if there are no pictures of nature and one on your computer will work, you can just look at something green. And this will also reset your brain. Eat an apple or any other fresh fruit. Laugh. So this might be the only time when I give you permission to go on YouTube, pull up, silly cat videos, and laugh. That's fun. Meditate. Go on a gratitude rampage. So maybe you're feeling really frustrated about how everything's going and you're really angry right now. You take a very brisk walk and in your most frustrated voice, start saying all of the things that you're thankful for. Or whatever. And if you're thankful for nothing, then you just start with, I'm thankful for these shoes that I'm walking in. I'm thankful for the grass and it's, brown, but I love it. And you just keep going and you'll come out of that. What are some other things that you could do? Some simple things that you can do along those lines, those 4 areas that we looked at to recharge your brain. Yes, Cynthia. Mm-hmm. Okay, so laying down, putting your feet up, power naps. I I don't remember which executive person does this, but he'll sit in his chair. I can just imagine this happening with a pencil in his hand and, close his eyes to rest. And when the pencil drops, it wakes him up. And that's just at that moment when you've kind of gone into sleep. And so you come up, you're refreshed, and you can keep going. But you haven't slept for like 5 hours, which you might do if you're really that tired. Yes. Oh, yes. Spend some time with your animal, your pet, and pet them. And we call our cat Therapy Cat. The poor thing, he gets so much attention when people are sad, upset, and frustrated, but it works. And yes, the purring helps. Thankfully, he's slightly agreeable to purring on demand. So it's all good. Yes. Tapping. Yes. Okay. So can you take the mic? Can you explain tapping for those that are unfamiliar with it?
So tapping, gosh, put me on the spot.
Sorry.
Where's Google when I need it? No, but
I think everyone in this room could hand you Google.
I'll just say that I just do it the way I do it. Is,
Okay.
Just take a minute and I start tapping here, and
in the center
the
of your
center of my forehead,
Okay.
and the temples.
Okay. Here.
And just even if it's 2 minutes, set a
Mhm.
timer and just 2 minutes. And what I noticed for myself is that after whatever it was, the stressors of all the thoughts and words and things that need to get done, I start to just feel that vibration, kind of like that of the pet,
Mhm.
and it kind of re-centers me. And like pretty soon I'm not just thinking, oh, I'm overwhelmed, I'm this, I'm that. I'm just tap, tap, tap. And my head, my wrinkles on my head actually get a little softer.
Okay.
And I feel a little more in tuned and open to be like, okay, next thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that on the spot. So take a moment and check off what kinds of things will you try rather than continuing to push and push and push, especially in those moments where you feel like I do not have enough time to get this done. If I even take 2 minutes for myself, the world is going to implode. That's your best time to stop. Yes. Right. So when you feel like eating cookies, do one of these things. Yeah. Eating cookies is not on the list. I'm sorry. Tony, I know. That'll be the next list. Music. Yeah, we didn't even put that in there. Music or essential oils or other kinds of smells, positive smells. Yeah. Yep. Screaming potentially could do it too. But I'm not really, if you feel comfortable doing this, going somewhere and just, into a pillow. Yeah. In the car. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, right, it's like a breath in for 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, let it out for 10 seconds, that kind of thing. Yep. All right. So now, okay, we got them all here. You're going to stop pushing so hard and find some time to think, right? That's your deep work. You're going to start your day intentionally with specific activities that are meant to get you thinking and moving in the right direction. You're going to create systems so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you go to do a particular task. You're going to use organization to group things together, to let go of the excess, to assign homes for the thoughts and activities and stuff in your life. You're going to use productive rest when, in spite of all this, you still get frustrated and overwhelmed. We need to pause, reset, and come back to normal. what's normal. Okay, so now we use this. We use the vision and reflection that we started with at the beginning of the day, and we pull it all together with an activity that our productivity group, some of them do it on a daily basis, some of them do it as needed, but it's always there for you. And that is your daily action and visioning worksheet. And so that's the next page in your book. This is taking that future vision and bringing it all the way into what you're doing in a moment-to-moment basis. So the way that this worksheet works is you write your vision. You may find that you're writing the same exact vision every single day. Doesn't matter. You still take a moment to write your vision. You're going to pull your 4 focus areas that you already identified. So if you want, you've been given these handouts as a PDF as well. You can take and print a bunch of these. You can annotate them to put your focus activities on them. And then you leave the space blank to fill in every day. And that is, what do you need to do today to make that happen? You may have days where you only focus on one focus activity. That's okay. You keep them in front of you so that, you may have 2 that you work on one day. It's rare that you're going to work on all 4 areas in one day. It's just too much, right? So breaking it down. And I've even taken a moment just to write and say, I'm good. Like, I don't need to do anything on this focus activity today. Everything's set. But I write it down. I continue that positive affirmation that things are going in the right direction. So today, now, you're going to take a moment, write your vision, and in a short, succinct, write in your focus areas, and then what do you need to do today? And I understand you're only going to have half the day left to work on this, but there is something you can do to move that ball forward. Dinner's done, everyone. This can be part of your morning routine. Part of your, if you're going through, if you use Hal Elrod's morning routine, morning miracle steps, this is journaling. And it can absolutely qualify for that one step in your process. I would put money on it that if you do this every day, things will simply, first of all, start appearing for you and explode in the direction that you want to go in. This one step alone. But could we have done this if we had started here? Right? So I'm going to add that down as our productivity, our last productivity step, and that is daily visioning and action. Okay? Knocking on those doors. What doors are you going to knock on today? They will not all open, and that's absolutely okay. So this all sounds great. I mean, we've made this great list. We're all going to go back and we're going to be super successful. until life gets back in the way, right? So what is going to keep you from success? If you turn your page again. Instead of thinking of the things that are keeping you from your success as blocks, as impediments in the road, as locked doors that just won't open, it's so frustrating, we can think of them as a teacher. This is from Sensei Victoria Whitfield. You can think of those things that are not working out for you the way you had hoped as a teacher. And when you turn it that way, there's simply a lesson to be learned. And I assure you, until you've learned the lesson, your teacher is ever so ready to stay and help you learn the lesson. What is your, what classes are you enrolled in right now? Let's put it that way. These are your personal trainers, helping to get you ready to receive that great big vision that you have for yourself. And these lessons have to be learned. You're going to stay in this school and have these teachers and personal trainers until you receive the knowledge. Okay? So I want you to take a moment to write down, where are you stuck? What school are you enrolled in right now? Who are your teachers at the moment? Okay? And then you're going to share. Okay? Yes, I'll use the words that everybody uses, right? I'm blocked. Like, I'm frustrated because I never have enough time. And these people in my life keep getting in the way of me achieving my goals. Everything I want to do is too expensive. What's that? Yeah, all that. Right, but somewhere something's happening, right? I can't figure out the name of my business. Oh, sorry, just gonna, whatever. It's gonna, some place where you feel, quote unquote, stuck. And everyone, there's no one on the planet yet that's perfect. So somewhere, somebody, even the best teachers in the world, also have the lessons that they have yet to learn and need to keep working on. I'm not putting myself first. I don't know. There's something out there. I'm stressed all the time. I can't imagine this working out. It never has in the past. I'm afraid of being who I truly am. I'm afraid of what success looks like. I'm afraid of tons of money because then people will want it from me, or they'll talk about me, or people with money. Woo, those people, I don't want to be like them. Who are your teachers? Nope. The lesson can be positive. The lesson can be positive and should be. Yeah. No, an idea, thought, concept, yep. Mm-hmm.
For example, my resistance is a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but I realize resistance is part of the process. I haven't done something wrong if I have resistance. I have to work against that to get through it. The only way out is through. Resistance is part of the strengthening process of
Right.
getting where I need to be.
And That's that's part of the, and there's the lesson in it too. Think about the things you complain about. Think about your frustrations. You know, I'm overwhelmed. I can't figure out the next step. I don't feel worthy of standing up here and talking to everybody and sharing my gift. What is it? Where are you frustrated? And then the next part of that is, what lesson are you getting from that? You know, maybe the teacher is somebody is self-worth, you know, or your lack of, the teacher would be lack of self-worth. The lesson is learning to see the value in who you are. So the teacher is being overwhelmed all the time, and the lesson is learning how to break things down into smaller steps, learning how to focus and prioritize. Okay? I'm going to scoot these chairs by you if you don't mind. I got one more. Okay. One or two shares from that. What came up for you with going through that exercise? Yes, Lori.
What came up for me was family, and not listen. My lesson was to not listen to the people who don't have the results that I want, and loving them where they're at,
nice.
and still having a wonderful, healthy relationship with them.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Family and friends.
Yes, yes. I love you exactly where you are. I just happen to be going somewhere else at the moment. Good. What came up? Anybody else? Anybody have a perspective shift about why we have teachers in our lives? Any of that? Oh, Alicia had a...
So one of the ones I wrote was my grandmother. She has dementia, so it's a very difficult relationship. And I tend to be the battering ram or punching bag or any of those terms. So she's really, that relationship just in general is teaching me unconditional love and forgiveness.
Nice. Nice. Those are some pretty powerful lessons.
Yeah.
You had one.
I get caught up, even though I teach people not to do it all the time. I get caught up in comparison. And I always go back to, yes, comparison is the thief of joy. But I tend to think that, oh, that's already done. Or, oh, wow, they're doing that so well. Then I don't need to do it. It's already been done. So I think the lesson in that is to own my own gifts and understand that there's enough room for everybody.
Nice. And there is. And there is. Very good. Actually, if you want to pass this up, I'm going to invite Lori and Judy up to the front. I'm going to invite you into this, I'll call this my living room here. Would you like to come on up? So Lori and Judy are in the Sapari Accountability Group, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing in that group and how it works. So thank you. Welcome. I'll hand you the mic first. You guys can pass it back and forth between you. So would you tell the group, you've already told them your name, go ahead and do it again, what you do, and what were things like before you started, in the accountability group?
My name is Judy Fritz, owner of VIP Services. So we are a virtual assistant team. Rock stars.
Absolutely, yes.
And we love to help business owners get focused with their strategy and help them get things off their plate to actually so they can focus on what they should be doing, and we do everything else. So that's me. At the end of it was actually Thanksgiving. I took that weekend and just said, okay, I'm going to plan out this coming year. And I sat down and wrote down everything I wanted to do, I should do, and just wrote down my ideas, basically. It wasn't a plan, but just where, I guess, sort of a vision.
Okay, good.
And not knowing that's what it was at the time.
And what
then I looked at this list and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can do all this. I don't know how to get it done, but I know this is the goal I want in the end. And that's when Nettie had, I saw her video on Facebook and I said, I think this is exactly what I need to focus in on how to get all this done. So Nettie has worked with me monthly. We work on, we have a coaching call. It's more of a mastermind with everybody in the group. And she talks us through just answering some questions. And that really helps us focus in on what we want for the month and to break those things down in really doable goals. So it's not scary at all. And every morning she will message me and ask me, where are you on this? Where are you on that? And it really focuses me in on, I better get this done because I know Nettie's going to ask me where it is or how, if it got done. So it's, and I will say lovingly. I never feel beat up. She's just very, very supportive and helpful. And even when I hit a wall, she will say, "But look what you learned through that." So yeah, it's been wonderful.
So can you share, we had a coaching session recently, just one-on-one, and some things came out from that. When we started the call, it's kind of, you had a direction you wanted to go in, but it's not quite how things unfolded, right? So what happened? What were the results from that?
I'm not sure.
So I know you had said you wanted to lay out your 3-month plan and your 6-month plan, but we focused on a different area. So maybe talk about that.
Okay. When we started talking, I realized that it was very simple. Right. It doesn't amplify to you all.
Let's pretend.
That none of what I had on my list was impossible. It wasn't like I had these goals that were like crazy. And then when we broke them down, it's like, this is very, very easy to do. I can do this. So it gave me confidence too. And if I'm missing your point, let me know.
You're fine. You're fine.
That was it.
Okay. So for those folks, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the program in a minute, but for those folks who might be considering it, what would you say to them?
Well, if you are in a place like I was, where I had a huge list and just did not know how to start or what to focus on first, because there's just so many things I wanted to do, Nettie's really, really great to work with. And I'm not just saying that because she's here, because I have recommended her to other people. But she is really helpful and very loving and caring and not scary at all. Because sometimes, it might be hard to say, yeah, I'm short on this area, or, I've got some issues here, or I want to work on this. But working with Nettie, it's really easy. And it's just a really nice flow every morning to get started on what's the most important thing, and she keeps me focused. And that happens to be my word of the year is focus. So it's really helpful.
Excellent. Thank you. So Lori, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do for people, and tell me, now you come from a different perspective, because when you started, I remember you saying, I'm involved in some classes and coaching already. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I am Lori Hill, and I am a health coach. Our product is Herbalife, and my trade name is Nutrition by Design. And I have different areas of my business that I focus on: personal consulting and group fitness activities where friends get together and have fun fitness activities of all levels.
And they're lots of fun.
Yeah, fitness. We make fitness fun in our cardio drumming and a couple other activities that we've done 5Ks as a team and stuff like that. Everybody's welcome. And then in my personal life, I'm, I guess, middle-aged because I have grandchildren. All my kids are grown. I have grandchildren, 6 grandchildren. And then I have an aging mother who's 92, and she lives in Utah. And it's important to me to participate in this time in her life. I committed to her a couple of years ago. I was going to come every season for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I grew up. I've lived here 30 years. So I've missed a lot of that. And that relationship is important to me. She still lives at home. She's legally blind, and she's amazing. And so that's a big piece of my life right now. I spent 8 weeks total last year there. So to balance that and supporting my clients locally, and then I also have online clients, and juggling all that with my family. I have 3 grandkids in Texas and 3 here. So supporting all my family and figuring all that out. I had used Nettie's Sapari Solutions last year about this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my heck. What a discovery to purge so many things. I purged 18 contractor bags full of 30 years of PTA stuff and stuff that I thought was really important and resourceful and all that. And that was life-changing for me because then created the space that supported my mind and learned how to put like things together and learned that just because you throw something away doesn't mean you throw away that memory.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And so personally, I had experienced Nettie, her services in that area. And so it made sense to me when there was accountability group. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I want to be accountable personally in my business. And the things it's done for me is, so Nettie doesn't set my goals for me or anything. She pulls them out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pulls them out of me. And
yeah.
like, yeah. Like she mentioned, I do have mentors in my business that that I follow for our physical activities and our business type stuff. And they're online. They live in California. I've been there quite a few times to receive, that and do different activities with them there. So I chose into the accountability group for that daily one-on-one personal accountability for everything. And it's incredible because in the group, we all have different goals, different industries. It doesn't matter because the system of achieving whatever we want personally or in our businesses is the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have that in common. And the challenges are a lot the same too.
Right. Do you feel like it's a lot of time, like you're adding a lot of time to be checking in every day and working in the group? Do you feel like it's really overwhelming your schedule? Or
no, I feel like it's the opposite because it just lasers down to what the daily activity is going to be.
Nice.
And especially through the holidays because I just got back from 3 weeks out of town. And in those 3 weeks, I was still held accountable
on the airplane.
On the airplane. I mean, I was held accountable for it served me when I wasn't even in town. So I really.
So what would you say kind of is the most significant change or benefit that you've gotten from being part of it?
Okay, the benefit that I received is I have stayed connected to my clients and hit the ground running at the beginning of the year with our cardio drumming group that we're growing, and it really set me up to hit the, like I said, to hit the ground running through the holidays.
Right.
I in my, as particularly in my field, I hear a lot of holiday food that, we got to wait till the end of January to recover from the holiday.
It's a whole month, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I've really appreciated it, particularly this time of year, to stay focused and on task.
Nice.
And
So, thank you. And that's you. Each one of you are showing up every day and checking in and setting your intention. I'm simply reflecting that back to you, what you're bringing to the table. So thank you. Could we give our lovely participants a hand? And I've left some space for you to think about, what does that mean for you in your life? What are the takeaways that you're getting from what Lori and Judy are sharing with you about showing up every day, about planning your day and being accountable to the things that you set out to do? What are your takeaways from that? And while you're jotting that down, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about what they're talking about. So we've mentioned the Sapari Accountability Group, and you're probably thinking, okay, great, I'm not entirely sure what that means for me. So the Sapari Accountability Group is this. As they mentioned, it's me checking in with you on a everyday basis based on the goals that you set for yourself. And we meet on a monthly basis by Zoom, which is what we're using for our recording today, to mastermind with other individuals in the group, to set your next set of 30-day focus activities, and to strategize around what's working, what's not working, and then to be in community with those who are also working towards goals, and they can help support you. In the first meeting that we had, it was so interesting because I remember thinking, I would have never thought about that. But now you have 9 other people who are also coming to the table and saying, okay, this is what I think, and oh yeah, I've been there before. This is what worked for me. So it's really powerful. You have an online Facebook group that's exclusive to your accountability group. So when you start with an accountability group, those are the people that you're working with. They're going to start at the same time as you. You have the daily checklist that I showed you, the daily action and visioning worksheet. There's a weekly reflection worksheet available as well. Quarterly planning, yearly planning, monthly planning. And then in addition, something new that we've added is you also have access to our Sapari Strategic Partners. So Sapari Strategic Partners are businesses that provide the kinds of services that are going to support you and where you're going. So I'm supporting you, providing accountability, support, and consulting on productivity. And these other individuals have other pieces of the puzzle that may lend itself to what you're doing. Debbie Kevin, who's a writer and a blogger. Frank Deming, who helps to kind of stabilize your business in any economy, right? Jen Hickel, she's a business coach. And we have Amber Duggar, who does financial work, and Victoria Whitfield, who is an intuitive healer who specifically works with entrepreneurs. In addition, if you are interested, Abrielle, would you mind passing out? Yep, she's right on cue. She's like, I got them in my hand. They're right here. This is going to explain the program. In addition, for those of you coming into the group, you will also have one monthly one-on-one consulting session with me. So if there's some place that you're stuck and you're really going, you know what, I need more. I need more than what I can do in a chat. I need more than a group conversation. You get one monthly one-on-one consulting session with me. And because you're here, because you showed up, for those individuals that are coming in either via live stream or here present today who are interested in this group, if you are interested in taking action today, you will also receive a ticket to the 2-day business conference that will be coming up this year. Okay? So the presenters for that conference will be the strategic partners in this group along with myself, and it will be a time to work on the things like we've worked on today, but really honing in on the areas that you need support. Okay? So that's valued at $19.97, and you have it as a gift for taking fast action today. If you are ready to get started after today, not after today, don't wait, right? After this time together, fill in your sheet. You can hand it to Abrielle, and she can help you get started with the first step. Are there any questions before I go on to our next activity? Oh, and I forgot. If you sign up today, right now what's being set up is a very delicious, lovely, healthy lunch for our Safari Accountability Group members. So if you sign up today, you will join us for lunch that's provided by the Larapin. Thank you. So that is also included. I heard they changed their name, and I haven't yet asked what that's about. So just to kind of sweeten the pot a little bit more. Are there any questions? Okay. So we're going to go around one more time. You had your intention for today. You had your intention for today for focus, to gain a plan, to learn consistency, gain clarity, be open, get unstuck, be mindful, take action, use strategies. And the other two we've said, gain a vision. You've learned a lot about yourself in the last 3.5 hours. You've learned a lot about where you'd like to go. And I'd like you to write down for you, what is your new normal? What is now true for you after spending this time together? Okay? I'm going to pass the mic around here. What's one aha, what's one takeaway that you gained from this time? Yes, Jennifer. I know, it's okay.
I like the idea of planning backwards.
Okay,
That's
good.
a great takeaway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent. Planning backwards. Yes. Any others? Any aha moments, takeaways from today? James.
I just feel like I have much better clarity in what I need to let go of to focus on to what's going to move me forward in the next 30
Excellent.
days, next year. It just feels much more clear to me.
Fantastic. Was clarity your word?
No,
No,
consistency was.
consistency.
But
Yeah,
it's hard to be consistent if you don't have clarity of what you're going to work on.
that's true. Absolutely. Nice. Do you have something?
I just realized that for me, I need to connect back to the value of it and why
Mhm.
it's important and my personal mission.
Okay,
Instead of-
good.
I'm not as inspired by the goals so much as that stuff.
Right.
So I want to make sure
And-
I'm keeping that in front of me.
The goals are a means to an end, right? But the values are where you're going. Any others? Judy.
That this is simple. God is guiding, and don't be afraid to take the leap. As in
Nice.
that beginning worksheet that we did, I was like, well, I just took the leap. I just took the leap. I was like, wow, that's how I accomplished all that stuff. So
Nice. That was the lesson learned. Very good. Any others? Other aha moments? We're going to go around the room one more time, and we'll just start in the back because we're already there. And I'd like you to share one word, either, one word that I guess the morning has meant for you. So we started out our day this way. We'll finish it up.
Laser.
Laser.
To add to my focus.
I can see that focus. Nice. I don't know how to spell laser. Laser.
leap.
Anybody? Come on, Tony, help me out.
Laser.
Laser. It's LAS, isn't it? Okay. Thank you. Spelling was not my strong point. Thank goodness I don't need it to get forward in life. Leap. Great.
I'll stick with clarity.
Clarity.
Purpose.
Purpose.
Recharge.
Recharge. Great.
Mindfulness.
Was that yours before too?
Nope.
No. You guys are swapping. I like
That
it.
was mine. I'm going to ditto on that. It's still mindfulness. Presence.
Presence.
I'm going to go with elevate.
Elevate. Going up, anyone?
Clarity.
Clarity. Yeah. Intention. Okay.
Confidence.
Confidence. Great. Hey, Tony, you got a word for us today? Oh, Abrielle. And our
Kate has a word. Abundance.
abundance. You've just got ooze.
Wanda says motivated.
Motivated. I love it. I'm feeling pretty motivated. I'm ready to start this year. Anything else from our tech crew in the back? Doing a great job.
Determination.
Determination. I like that. Nice. Nice. Well, you have your word. You can choose the word that you started with, or the word that you finished with, or some other word that aligns with your vision to take you through 2018. Thank you so much for starting your year with me. I have really valued our time together this morning, and I will stay available afterwards if you have any questions about the program or anything else that we've covered in our time together. Thank you.